My name is Mark Pontius, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Director of Parent and Family Programs here at Miami University. And what that means is that my office and my role exists to engage you in this journey that your student is embarking on over the next 4 years. And we know that there is no one that cares more about the success of our students than you, their parents and family members. And so we want to engage you as partners in this process so that together we can support students to their success. So I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about family orientation and more broadly how we engage you all as family members of our students. First, take you back a little bit to a psychology class that you may have had at some point in life, with a little bit of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So you can see the bottom level there, food, water, shelter, warmth, that those pieces have to be satisfied before a person can think about the next part up. That's security, stability, and freedom from fear. Now, if we updated it to 2020, it might look a little bit more like this. But the reason I say that is that there are some nice parallels to how we frame family orientation as well. So, of course, we're going to talk about where they're going to eat, where they're going to sleep, and how this thing's going to get paid for. We're going to talk about campus safety, health services, alcohol and other drugs, sexual and interpersonal violence. We're going to talk about their academic requirements and their registration and their career development, all the way up to how your relationship with your student is going to change. But overall, my hope is that when you finish engaging with this content, that you walk away from this thinking that your student is coming to a place that cares about them and is going to help them reach their goals. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. It doesn't mean they're not going to fall down. But when they do, that there are people here that are going to help them get back up and keep moving forward. We know it's not a straight line from move-in day to graduation, but that there's a lot of learning and bumps in between. A little bit more about how we frame both engaging with students and engaging with families. So we hear a lot about independent young adults, right? We want them to be independent, want them to be financially independent, but that's not really the case in how the world works. It's really more about interdependence. We know that, and you certainly know, that no one goes through this world completely and utterly alone. We all are relying on resources and then making a decision. And so what we teach our students is to do that as well. Take in all those resources. You, their trusted parents and loved ones, their faculty members, their academic advisors, their peers, their staff on campus, and much more. And then make a decision that's best for them. And what's shifting here is they're taking more ownership of that process. So we don't want them to separate from their resources. We want them to just take a little bit more ownership, which means the role of each person changes. So that means your role changes. And we already talked a little bit about them getting up when they fall down, but this takes resilience on your part as well. So we know that it's not a straight line, as I mentioned, but there's going to be times when you have to decide whether what your student is experiencing is a bump or is a real crisis that means you need to jump in. You all know in life that many of the best learning times come from a mistake that you've made. So allowing them to make mistakes in a way that doesn't threaten their health or safety is often when they learn the most, that will set them up for success in life. And then for those of you that have more than one child, and especially if you've had more than one go to college already, or if this is your second, remember how unique and different they all are. That means that their transition to college is also going to be unique and different. And so focusing on the unique qualities of this student that you're sending to us this fall. Try not to compare it to your older students if you have them, or your own transition to young adulthood or to college if you went, but to focus on this student and who they are. And that will go a long way towards relieving some stress on both your part and on their part. Jump in a little bit to some of the logistics of family orientation. So you can see here some categorizations of topics and information. This is going to be on the family orientation website, and we really recommend that you'll go through each of these categories and review all of this information in the order that we've listed it here. We've done that on purpose. And then when you click into one of those, such as the academic content one that you see here on the screen, you'll see another series of accordions, and you'll see more specific topics in that section. So here you'll see our liberal education and then each of our colleges on campus. Of course, we want you to learn about our liberal arts education and our approach to that at Miami, and then to click into and learn in depth about the college where your student's major is housed. And when you get into each of these, you'll see a variety of different types of files. That might be more voiceovers like this one. It might be links to places on our website. It might be other files like documents like brochures or other videos and more. And as you work through all of this content, we hope that it gives you a deeper understanding of Miami University. And that includes our expectations of your students, the resources that are there to support them, as well as the opportunities that are there to help them make the most of their time on campus. But we know you're going to have questions. And so we're going to have these virtual Q&A sessions or real-time sessions throughout the summer, regular times when you can come and ask questions about any part of Miami and supporting a Miami student. The majority of them will be very general in nature. There'll be some with a little bit more topic-specific focus, but times for you to come and ask those questions. Some of them are going to be just for you as a parent or family member. Some of them are going to be just for students. And some will be targeted for both you and your student to attend together, or for students and family members to attend generally. We want you to come after reviewing that orientation content when you've got those questions that are still lingering and weren't answered. But come and attend as many as you want. We want you to get those questions answered. There'll be a staff member there, as well as one of our orientation leaders who can really help answer those questions about what it's like to be a student at Miami. Additional resources that we've got, we're not going to stop communicating with you. So we'll be sending newsletters to you as family members throughout your students' time with upcoming deadlines, opportunities, news about Miami, timely conversations to have with your student as they're going through this college process, and much more. We also host a slate of webinars that are much deeper dives into a specific topic, such as study abroad or move-in day, those things. And those are really good times to really go deep on a topic. And then Family Weekend in the fall, you can see in October this year, is a great time to come back and check in on that student's transition. It is one of my favorite weekends of the year with move-in and commencement, where I get to see you all on campus just excited to be with your student, and your student excited to show you around campus. It is a great time to be here, and we've got lots of events planned for you all to come and have a good time on campus. And then finally, engage with us on social media. We've got a Facebook group with a little over 11,000 of your peers, parents, and family members of Miami students. And that's a place where you can come ask those questions, because you can be sure that there's someone that has experienced this issue previously. And there's a wealth of knowledge there. And then we've also got an Instagram account and a Twitter account that you can follow as well. So we're just excited that you're a part of the Miami family, and to work with you throughout your students' transition to college and all the way throughout their time at Miami. Love and honor.